Hey guys, Dr. Frank here, founder of Addiction Mindset Recovery Coaching Programs, and in today's brief video, I'm going to teach you how to never be bored when it comes to quitting an addiction. And this could apply to nicotine, pornography, THC, or any other host of substances or addictions. So remember, here at Addiction Mindset Recovery Coaching, we help people quit nicotine, THC, energy drinks, and a whole host of other addictions. So be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I try and put out a video every single day to help you get sober, stay sober, and have the best recovery as possible. So one of the common misconceptions that I hear about quitting an addiction, especially if it comes to pornography or nicotine addiction or THC addiction, is that a person is bored. They're just not excited anymore. They don't know what to do with their time. And the first thing that I want to emphasize when it comes to this is the mindset, because this mindset might actually be a little bit flawed. In my personal opinion, especially if we're talking about THC addiction, marijuana or smoking makes you complacent with being bored. So it's not actually fixing the boredom, but it is making you okay with doing nothing. And for a lot of people who are struggling to quit an addiction, this is a very, very frustrating situation to be in. We find here at Addiction Mindset Recovery Coaching, most people who struggle with addictions have big goals. They want to accomplish big things. They're highly driven individuals. And when that individual is put in a situation where they're not achieving, where they're not doing something, especially if they're under the influence of a substance or a drug, it makes them feel lousy. It makes them feel crappy. And that's one of the biggest problems with addictions that I like to emphasize to people. These things aren't filling your time. They're not making your time any better, but they're making you complacent with how you're spending your time. And that creates a conundrum, like an internal dialogue, an internal conundrum inside that individual that they may not even be aware of. I remember this myself when I was going through active addiction to THC and other substances. I hated the position that I was in life, and I wanted so badly to change it. But for some reason, I couldn't seem to do that. And looking back now, it's obvious to me that the substances, weed, nicotine, whatever it was, alcohol, they weren't filling the boredom, but they were making me complacent enough with being bored. So that's thing number one. Now, how do you overcome this? What's a simple way to never become bored? Well, when it comes to overcoming nicotine addiction or quitting smoking, one of my first pieces of advice to you was to write down a list of your top 7 goals and then another list of the things that you have to do to achieve those goals. Now, we also recommend to people that they reconnect with relationships, they reconnect with old hobbies, they reconnect with old interests. So something you can do is you can go out and you can buy a stack of index cards, okay? Buy like 10 to 20 index cards. On these index cards, I want you to write down activities that you currently enjoy doing or activities that you used to do previous to this addiction. And I'm going to give you some examples. This could be exercise, this could be meditation, this could be going for a walk, walking, this could be yoga practice, this could be drawing, this could be coloring, this could be cooking, this could be journaling, this could be crafting if you're into doing things with like the Cricut machines or making shirts, whatever it is, if you're real good with crafts. This could be social media, this could be filming. Unless you're trying to quit, of course, a social media or a gaming addiction. This could be playing video games, socializing with friends. This could be hanging out with family, calling a family member, playing with your dog, whatever it may be. Reading a book, listening to a podcast, walking while listening to a podcast, taking a hot shower, taking a cold shower, practicing deep breathing. These are all just examples of things that you can write down on these cards. Doing your homework, completing a task for your job, whatever it may be. Now, I want you to take all of these index cards and place them into a little bag or place them into a big fishbowl. Now, something that you can do to help you break your routine of addiction. Let's say you get home and your first thing when you do when you get home is you go get high or you go and vape. one of the things I want you to do is go reach into this fishbowl, go reach into this bag, and pull out one of these index cards. And you could have it separated like a list of things to do in the morning, a list of things to do in the afternoon, and a list of things to do in the evening if you have to. But let's say you go home, now instead of smoking, instead of getting high, you reach into this fishbowl and boom, it says go exercise. And it's nighttime and you know you don't want to lift weights, so you're going to go for a walk. Or it says go read. Well, what books have you been listening to on Audible? What books have you been reading that you can go through? Is it business books? Is it nutrition books? Is it self-help motivation books? Is it books that surround a niche or a niche that you're in that you're trying to learn more about? Maybe it's like trying to grow a YouTube channel. So this is a simple way to start to break your bad routines and your bad habits. And remember, smoking, vaping, it's not necessarily a bad habit. It's a drug addiction. It's the substance use addiction. We don't say that someone who smokes heroin or shoots up heroin has a bad habit. They have a substance use addiction. It's no different when it comes to nicotine or when it comes to THC for that matter. So keep that in mind. But it is important that we start to address our routines and that we start to address our habits. And this is one really simple way that you can start to do those things. So to recap, make a list if you haven't already of your top 7 goals. Make a list of the things that you want to do to accomplish those goals. Write out a bunch of hobbies, write out a bunch of activities that you enjoy doing or things that you previously used to enjoy doing prior to this addiction. Mix everything up in a fishbowl, and instead of reaching for that drug, instead of going on and consuming adult content online, whatever it is you're trying to quit, gambling, reach into that fishbowl, pull out an activity, and get right to doing that activity. And I promise you, if you practice this again and again over time, you're going to start to feel much better about yourself because you're going to be doing things that are moving that needle forward in life, not things that are holding you back in life. So I hope this video helps. I hope it gives you guys inspiration. Follow me into the next video where I give you some tips and tricks how to never relapse again. And let me know in the comments what activities, what things are you guys going to get to, or what ideas do you have that can help other people out. I'll see you in the next video.